And here we is, Friday the 13th, 2026. We got Kelly Clark at Dork Tales. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you, Tim? Happy Friday the 13th.
Yes, the same. Doing well. A little under-rested, I would say.
It's been January was the longest year of the of 2026 so far. My God, it's like every day was like a week worth of time. It was weird.
Yeah. So tell me out of the gate, man. Campaigns 2020 on.
Boy, so this year is the year where I start to kill things off so that I can start new ones. I gotta burn the soil to create more room.
Right.
So we're wrapping up season 3 of our Victorian era mage game, which is kind of a World of Dark. It's like a Vampire the Masquerade type of World of Darkness game.
Yeah.
So they're like on a train, and it's finally turning into spoiler for anybody who's listening. It starts off as Murder on the Orient Express, and then it turns into From Dusk Till Dawn at the end.
Sweet.
But on a train, right?
Yeah.
Tired of these vampires on this train. I've got my Wild West inspired game is still going. That's hopefully going to be wrapping mid-year. And then I've got a couple of ones that are replacing it. I've got one that's kind of, when I say inspired, very, very borrowed Warhammer 40K inspiration.
Very cool.
Because I've really fallen into the Warhammer 40K like fandom in the last year or so. Like I usually have like a YouTube video in the background telling me all this lore about the Emperor of Mankind, right? Type of that crap. Because it's just fun, right? And then I've got a modern thing that's that I've been working on as well. That's kind of I've always really liked like modern D&D settings. Like, you know, it's you're walking down Tokyo and you've got a sword and a gun and it's time to hunt a dragon, like type of vibes. So we'll see how those go. But I'm excited about those. How about you? What are you working on?
So I'm working on the tail end of my hiatus. So it's been.
You did 1,000 songs last year?
No, not last year. That I hit 1,000.
You hit 1,000 songs. Yeah, that's right.
But it was close to like 275 published last year.
Oh, is that all? That's a song almost every day. So that's a song every, like you took a day off every third day.
Yeah, pretty much. So I sit here and question. You have these existential crises when, as a creator, which I'm sure you have from time to time. Never. So
I sit in the rain. What am I doing with my life?
I've reached my almost 90-day hiatus period of not really getting into, like, I say that, but I've come up with like maybe half a dozen to a dozen ideas during the time frame when I just felt the urge to do something. But I am now in the weekend of planning. It sounds really more dramatic than it is, but it's more or less, okay, what do I want to get accomplished roughly by the end of this first quarter, second, third, and fourth, right? And it surrounds like styles and everything. I've got a list on the wall. It's much more reasonable this year.
Do you have like a big whiteboard?
Well, if a whiteboard is newsprint, like the brown newsprint pads that you would do sketches with, you know, the big, 2x4 foot things, then yes.
Okay. You got a murder board. You've got a murder board. That's all that matters. Dude, I am so, like, I actually one time bought a black glass murder board. It was like a 2x2 piece of black glass that you're supposed to write on with. I don't know what happened to that, but I really never ended up using it. But I love that thing.
What was it like at the inverse, like white marker versus?
Yeah, you're supposed to use like white marker on it. It was supposed to look like very much like, I don't know, like CSI or like Bones, like that type of thing. I don't even remember where I got it. But I think I lost it during a move or it got broken. Man,
that sounds like the hell of
great.
That sounds like the best whiteboard, blackboard you could possibly, You know what I mean?
It was really cool. I just remembered that now, and now I miss it. Now I'm angry that I don't have it anymore. I'm gonna have to look this up, or I'm gonna write that down for later. Get murder board. By the way, fun things about being a writer that there's an FBI file on you for.
You mentioned murder board, and they're like,
murder board, how large propane explosion, how decompose body with bugs. Like, every third search I do is, I am a writer. This is all fictitious.
It's so amazing. Please, NSA, don't tap my phone. You already are.
Yes.
Okay, end game.
It's already fine. Like, seriously. Ugh, I live in Canada. They don't like the Canadian government doesn't care. I'm still American, so I know that there's probably a file. Every time I go across the border, they're like, "Welcome home, Mr. Clark." I'm like, God damn it.
What have you been up to?
Nothing. I'm a YouTuber. Come on. Yeah.
So in essence, yeah, I am. It sounds like uneventfulness, but things are churning, right?
That's
So
good.
like I knew I had to take some time to myself and just let the creative well, so to speak, refill, because I tapped it pretty hard that fourth quarter. We talked, September, sometime in September. I think we did the last
I think so.
podcast.
I think you were just starting your last sprint.
Yeah, and at that point, I had like a 3 or 4 week period where I had to like take a breather, and it's like it happens in these surges, and I don't control it. I'll sit down one day and I'm just like, shit, we're doing this again.
But it's good though. It's good that you can recognize that when it happens rather than just having like a very mediocre performance for a month.
Yeah,
because those are the worst, where you're forcing yourself through and you're like, wow, I'm not doing well. But you only realize that a week or two in. So what are you working on then? What's on the murder stickies?
So right now I'm catalyzing ideas by some of the new software I purchased in the fourth quarter last year. And I got some really wild stuff, like some stuff that could be ambient, some stuff that could be kind of retro lo-fi, but like almost like murder mystery sci-fi at the same time too. It's had like, what do the kids say? It's giving.
It's giving. Yep. It's giving. What is it giving?
It's giving Stranger Things vibes. It's giving, all sorts of crazy stuff. Not really horror, though. More like, just kind of
mood,
slightly moody and a little off and unsettling. More unsettling than horror.
That's
straight
really
up
cool.
horror. So I don't even know where to classify some of this stuff right now, because I've got like 4 or 5 ideas in the last week that I dropped, and I'm like, it's kind of neat, and they're like minimalist. Well, here's the problem. I'm into arc raiders right now, heavy. I mean,
everybody's into arc raiders but me. What is it?
It's an extraction shooter. It's console based. It's PC based. There's cross platform play. It is an extraction shooter, so you can do PvP or PvE in the gameplay. I heavily rely on the latter, because I'll go in and, defib people that get knocked down and stuff like that, and save people from the arc, like the drones and stuff that are coming after them. I'm more altruistic than what they call rats.
Is it like Fortnite mixed with Helldivers?
Yeah, because there's a time. Does Helldivers have a time limit? I forget.
I don't know. I got to be honest. I don't play very many games where I have to deal with other people. I go to video games to get away from other people.
Well, I have to agree with you when it comes to my Skyrim or my Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I just started playing Rogue Trader because I needed a Baldur's Gate fix, and it's really similar in a lot of ways. Like, the interface is very similar. But, I say that, but then again, I still am like planning to go into competitive on Rivals, like Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
But I leave the comms turned off. I only play with friends, so.
Yeah, same, because this Arc Raiders has proximity chat, and you get up close to somebody and you can chat with them and stuff, and but you never know who you're running into. And I don't really want to cuss or swear to some 12-year-old, even though they shouldn't be playing the game. But
they're gonna cuss and swear at you harder. You're gonna learn new swears.
I'm like, that's racist and a swear. How did you pull that off?
That's racist and ageist and a swear, and also it's kind of a bop. Like, I kind of want to say it myself, but I feel like when I think of this word, it hurts my knees.
Yeah,
type of thing, right?
That's a one word or one phrase canceled right there.
How did you manage that? That's impressive, right? Like,
no, what's really neat about it is, if you've never played it, but what's neat about it, like, I almost gave up on it in the beginning because I didn't understand the gameplay. So the learning curve is accentuated by the fact that it's kind of a discovery game. You have to kind of discover some of the secret elements to it. They don't really lay it out. Some games you'll show up someplace and they do
Like the big tutorial and the
and you walk into a part of the map and it's like, hey, if you see this, check out that area because that means there might be something up there and you can scramble up this wall. But none of that. It's like you're in this post-apocalyptic world. There's this stuff called Ark. It's like this layover technology that is hunting you on the surface, and you're going up there to grab resources and stuff and extract and build up your workbenches and stuff. And it's a very much like a micromanager's dream. So kind of takes.
And you find that relaxing?
I somehow, you know?
That's why, like, when I was in grad school, Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped. And I remember having a conversation with someone, and she got so mad at me because she was playing Red Dead 2 for relaxation. And I'm like, I can't do it, man. Like, I don't want to milk my horse. You know, I don't want to have to ride my cow into the sunset. I don't want to have to, like, braid my own, like, tassel jacket. Like, I don't want to do all this stuff. I want to go play, like, Mario Odyssey. Or something like that. I want to jump on some Goombas for 20 minutes and then I want to take a nap. And this person got so offended because they were in grad school with me and they're like, you're just not a real gamer. And I'm like, I do enough tedium in my normal life, man. Like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to simulate, like, making my own Nehru jackets and, like, growing my own corn? Like, okay, cool. But, like, more power to you. More power to you. Like,
well, the interesting thing is there's varying levels of Ark on the surface, and they get more and more progressively harder to engage. Like, there's smaller drones you can take out with handguns or rifles, but then there's bigger ones called rocketeers that are, like, they fire rockets at you, basically.
Okay, well, good. Not false advertisement, then.
No, not at all. And then there's leapers that are these giant, like, spider things, and then you go all the way up to, like, this queen and matriarch, and they're these monsters that take multiple groups to take down. Like, you can't just take it down by yourself. You need, like,
that's pretty cool,
a bunch of other people involved. But the strangeness or the stakes, the higher stakes of it is that it's underlying the PvE is a PvP component to it. So you never know if somebody's going to cross you, you know, in the process of, like, maybe taking down a queen or one of these bigger things.
And they'll just wait till you are sapped out and then they'll betray you at the last second.
Yeah. But there's elements to it that if your behavior is more altruistic than it is opportunistic, you end up being in lobbies where people tend to help each other more often. So they have something going on in the background that will put you into more friendly lobbies versus ones that are full on, you know,
interesting
PvP. And I don't know what that tech is, but it's the draw of the game, really. If they change that at all, it would be like a whole different experience. And I think the stakes wouldn't be there and it wouldn't be as fun. As much as I get pissed off, I'm like, I lost my guns, because you lose all your crap, right? When you get knocked down, you're not dead forever. You just get knocked down and, like, you lose everything up there unless you have it in a safe pocket, which is, like, depending upon what your loadout is, you can have one or two of those. And so you get to come back with, like, some really decent thing as, like, a last resort. I'm going in there, like, I got this blueprint for, like, this awesome weapon and I'm putting it in the safe pocket. So if I get knocked down, at least I get that and I can rebuild. But you play it, if you grind long enough, you have enough cash that you just go out and buy new stuff and, you know, the components that you need. So at this point,
like, I'm guessing the music is really bopping.
Music is, that's the full circle of it. The music is what has been inspiring me, because
so what's the music in it like?
It's kind of synth wavy, but more postmodern and very minimalist. There's just some really, like, cool vibing with that. And in addition to that, the visuals are great. Like the ray tracing on it and everything is, like, second. Like, you could see a building and the puddle on the ground, you know, all that kind of stuff, which is really nice, really gives some immersion. But the sound effects are phenomenal. Like, just the general sound design of the game is, I think, what's keeping me interested in it. It's so good and it's so robust. There's these, like, radar caches on the surface, and there's this little ticking to it and, like, this noise it makes. And as you get closer in proximity, you kind of hear it off. And when you have your headphones on, you kind of hear it spatially. You know, you're like, I'm like, hey, well, wait, hold on. I'm like going out there with my buddy Tom. I'm like, wait, I hear something. Hang on, I'm looking around, and it's usually buried under a bush or something, so you got to find it. Like, I don't know. It's just a crazy discovery mechanism, just so much fun.
They're doing some cool stuff with sound these days. That and Lethal Company had some cool stuff with sound, if I'm not mistaken, where like depending on how far away you were, your radios wouldn't work as well, or like it would be like one-way communication. It just neat stuff. People are really starting to use sound in cool ways.
Yeah. And I say that there's elements to it that they really, I can't think of one in particular at the moment, but there's little elements to it that they really thought about it. You know, they weren't lazy in game design in that case. Like there's a skill tree, and if you develop one part of the skill tree, when you breach things and open them up on the surface, it takes up less time, it's less sound, and you don't draw attention to yourself. You know, all sorts of like little elements that are like really, really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you should check it out.
And that's been eating up some of your free time?
Yes. But it's also been inspiring me on the genre of music that's in it. And I think the first couple of things I've done in the last week or so, getting back into the writing process, I've been influenced a bit on it. And I'm like, I could do a freaking Arc Raiders album. Let's go for it. You know, why not?
Do it. I mean, like you might as well while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did change my ringtone and my text notification to parts of the elements of the game. So
yeah,
I'm all in.
My partner's changed her text ringtones to like the dispatch beeps from Dispatch and things like that, which is just was consuming her life for a while. Like, oh God, that's such a good game. This has been a good couple of years for games, really.
Yeah.
It's real solid.
Maybe not for, I mean, at least on socials, I'm looking at Bethesda in particular. You know,
yeah, not for AAA games. It hasn't been super good, but
the promises,
for like indie games.
Yeah.
Ooh, but at the same point, Bethesda had Fallout, the TV show, which is. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I just watched the last episode yesterday or the day before. Love it.
It is the best example of a video game tie-in property ever. Ever.
Yeah.
Like I just saw Iron Lung the other night, and
what'd you think?
Man, like, have you seen it?
No, but my daughter did. I brought her like the opening weekend, and so I don't know if she was a huge Markiplier fan but she definitely.
Yeah, I think most like Gen Z at least like him. He's very likable. I think that it's personally I saw it like as like a C+. And I don't mean that as a negative way. It's a first real movie from Mark. He's done like a couple of projects like Space with Markiplier and a Heist with Markiplier, which are a lot of fun on YouTube. But
were they like shorts?
So they're choose your own adventure YouTube videos.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's you should check it out after this. It's actually a lot of fun where you go through a heist and then you have to choose directions, and he's filmed the entire thing. Heist with Markiplier is really fun. It's much quicker. Space with Markiplier is like, God, it's like a 3-hour ordeal to beat it. And it's just really funny.
It's on his main page?
Yeah.
Like you just play it there?
100%. Yeah, it's free. It's just a project he did. Probably trying to cut his teeth into filmmaking, right? And
yeah.
It's impressive. But as for Iron Lung, it was very impressive. He wrote it, he directed it, he starred in it, and he edited it. And I think he should have not been the editor.
Okay.
I think he needed someone to stand behind him and make rough cuts that he didn't want to give up. It felt very personal. It felt like a real like a passion project and just something that someone else needed to have a hand in to rein in the creativity, because you need somebody to tell you when something isn't working that you think is working.
Right.
The audio mixing needed some work. A lot of times there would be like hallucinations in it where you wouldn't be able to understand what was being said because of the layered audio.
Okay.
And besides that, like it was pretty ambiguous. If you're a fan of the game, I think it would be an A++. I never really played the game and went into it just with like a rough idea, checking like the wiki, maybe watching like an episode that he did of his Let's Play of it. So like I give it a C+ with a bunch of asterisks. I think that as a horror movie, yeah, it's probably an A. As just a general enjoyment, I kind of walked out feeling a C+, but there's real craft in it. It's really interesting to watch someone basically just act mostly by themselves for an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have been a tight hour. They could have cut a bunch of stuff and really picked up the pace, but I think it's a good first try. Like, I think that it shows a lot of promise for future projects that he does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, look, being a one-stop shop when it comes to making a movie it's not for everybody. And especially if you don't have a lot of history in it, if you didn't go to school for it necessarily, like I don't know his background, if he had even.
And so he was an engineering student before he dropped out to become a YouTuber. So everything that he's done has been like probably self-taught or taught through experience, like being on productions and watching what people do. So I think he's going to be doing some cool shit. I really do. But it's a learning curve.
Absolutely. That cinematography, a director of photography type of stuff, you know, those cuts, how to frame a scene so it naturally draws you into the next one. Like there's like Scorsese does that perfectly. Like there's cues at the end of one scene with color palette, like orientation, you know, compositionally, it just draws you into the next scene. And it happens so naturally, you don't realize it's happening until you go and psychoanalyze the whole thing. And then you're like, wow, like there was a lot of thought put into that scene. You know, but it just happens organically in your mind's eye. And you're just like, oh, that's just how it's done. Well, you don't know good cinema until you see good cinema, right?
Yeah. And then you don't even realize probably because it just goes down so smooth, right?
Yeah.
I guess you don't know good cinema until you watch bad cinema.
Right. And then
you're like,
anybody wants to experience that, then just watch anything Misty 3000 has riffed over the years.
Oh man, and, I do love them. They're pretty great. They're pretty great. I do think that they were a little harsh on This Island Earth, but otherwise, yeah, because that one is kind of a classic. Like it's dorky as hell. So
I love Mitchell. That was great. I mean, there's some real big old classics there from back in the day, and then riff tracks themselves.
Yeah, it's still around, right? Like they're still doing that.
In fact, they just did an Indiegogo because they're going to do they're going back to Misty 3000. Riff Tracks does Misty 3000. Something happened, like Joel Hodgson is one of the original founders, and then there was the producer there. I always forget his name because he's not one of the guys that acts, but they had kind of commanding control at one point, and then 3 or 4 years into the whole thing, and in fact, I think it was Mitchell that Joel was written out of the show, and Mike is the one that goes up to Saturday Night Live, and then he finishes out the ones that are all on public access. And there was a little falling out there. I think there was a difference of direction of the show, but it ended up working out. I think Joel, at the time, he was writing for I think Letterman or Saturday Night Live or something like that, and I think focuses were moving around, stuff like that. I mean, his writing is fantastic, you know, but somehow it's come full circle, and Mike and the other two guys are jumping in, and they're doing 4 episodes. They raised like an insane amount they're like $20,000, you know, Indiegogo. In like a week, they raised like close to $2 million, I think it was.
Oh my God. So
those are happening.
That is absolutely wild. Yeah. That they were able to get that much money, because it's such a simple concept, right? Like, I mean, people have been doing this type of movie commentary and parody forever, but they're the first that really hit it on the head, in my knowledge. Like, really were able to capitalize on it.
The big
thing,
they
did great work.
And in the beginning, the way they got around the licensing issues is they got a bunch of stuff that was overseas that was public domain, like all that Gamera versus, you know,
really,
you know,
that's
all those
smart.
Yeah, those are all. That's my understanding. Is a bunch of them were public domain, or they were just the licensing was either real cheap or free. And I mean, hell, you could riff the hell out of those things and have a blast. Now it's like a rite of passage of somebody, like they did Sharknado and, you know, all that stuff. And like, I mean, obviously Sharknado was done for a reason. It was tongue in cheek. The whole thing was meant to be hammy, you know,
not Sharknado 5, 6, 7, 8. Those were all art pieces. How many Sharknados are there now? Like 15?
I don't know. I think
how many
5 or 6.
I thought that they were released at 7. Sharknado. How many Oh, there are all 6 Sharknados.
And
Sharknado 7 is coming out in 2026.
Nice. Yeah, it's a Sci-Fi Studios production, I think. With Ian.
It is, actually, yeah.
Was it Ian Sperling? Is that the... or Ian. What is his last name? I might be getting the last name wrong. Guy from
Anthony Ferrante is the one who directed it.
Yeah,
and
but
looks
the
like
lead actor there, Ian, not Ian Spelling. That's the producer.
Ian Zaring.
Yeah. He's a 90210 alum.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, from back in the day.
Who's he in 90210? Was he Brian?
I think so.
Why do I remember that?
I didn't really watch the show, so I just knew Shannon Doherty was on it.
Steve Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What the hell? Speaking of like heartthrobs, James Vanderbeek died.
I know.
What the hell? He's not allowed.
No, Dawson's not allowed to die.
His family put up an Indiegogo, or not an Indiegogo, a crowd.
Crowdfunding or something. Yeah, a GoFundMe.
They did a GoFundMe to try to keep their house because their medical debt which is so unreal. The idea that his family is basically destitute because of his cancer treatments, like that's not to get political, but that shouldn't happen.
No, like, and that's a little known reality of insurance coverage, at least here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lifetime cap. So it doesn't matter where you have insurance, how long you've had insurance or whatever, the maximum amount they'll pay out on you is like so many million. And then you're kind of screwed. Like you kind of have to like go on like a lifelong payment plan or something like that. It's just,
that is so unreal.
It doesn't make any sense, especially like, dude, I'd be going to like the Mayo Clinic and being like, look, hit me with whatever experimental thing you got.
Yeah.
I'll sign the release, like I want to be on this planet. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not the best planet right now, but it's got some good stuff.
Yeah.
They had a goal of 1.5 million and they just hit 2.28.
That's amazing.
And like there are people here who are donating like 50 grand, and some of them are like a lot of people donating $100 here, $100 there, because he's got what, like 6 kids? Yeah, six kids. And Steven Spielberg donated 50 grand, and like, because at least someone's saying that there's Steven Spielberg donated 50 grand. And it's like, that's really cool. It's really sad that it kind of has to come to crowdfunding.
Yeah, you would think
for
somebody
stuff
like that probably had a hell of a licensing deal with that series.
Oh, they probably got screwed though. He was a kid when it came out, and nobody gets residuals on streaming, at least not until recently. So
right.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Well, that's the Netflix model of movies is a flat fee. So I know for a fact on Don't Look Up, Jennifer Lawrence, DiCaprio, I think they were like 12.5 each, but that's it. Like you're paid, like that's a lot of money, but it's a one and done. Like that's your fee, and you don't get anything else. Yeah.
Well, and like I always thought about that. I always thought like, wow, that's a lot of money. Like that's an impossible amount of money. But it turns into a lot less money because it's taxed pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got fees to your agent, your managers, all of that. So out of the $12 million, he's probably pocketing like 4, 5.
I was just going to say like 3 or 4.
Which is, I mean, I'll take $3 million to act in a movie. But like, it just makes you think about like some actors on the lower level that get completely screwed. Like there was one character in, was it Ahsoka? Mm-hmm. Like season 2 of Ahsoka, one of the Night Witches is not returning because she can't afford to rent a house where they're filming.
Yeah,
because she has to keep.
That seems
right?
Unreasonable.
Right? You think that the production would just pay for a place for her to stay?
Yeah. At that point, no, it's
wild. And this is like it's a secondary character or a tertiary character, but still, like, they're just people are getting cheap. Well, studios are getting cheap. People are trying to survive.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's this weird butter zone. Like Tom and I talk about this all the time. That
butter zone.
There's like a strange zone where like you could do like super micro budget or no budget movies, right? And run the festival circuit like we do, and it's very sustainable. Right. We're not out a lot of money. We can talk about something interesting, especially if we do documentary, because documentary, it's not about sourcing locations or anything. In fact, we do a lot of stuff remotely. We do, if we do interviews, it's the stuff is pretty cheap the way that we do it. And then, a lot of the money we throw at it is the festival run, going through the circuit and everything. But you start getting into narratives even minor ones like dramas or, rom-coms or comedies and stuff like that. It's location, it's the individuals and their time. So a lot of them are SAG. So like that just minimum SAG is, $1,000, $1,500 a day,
Really?
and that's
I didn't know it was that good.
That's a low end because there's cuts. You got to pay for their benefits. You got to pay for,
that's true. I mean, it is unionized for a reason. Like,
yeah,
that's the point. But I mean, I don't know, acting is such a tough gig. Like as a voice actor, at the very least, like I was putting out some auditions a while ago, and someone who was doing auditions with me was like, "Oh, I'm not getting any bites. I feel like really discouraged." And I'm like, "Okay, let me point this out. I've gotten like, I don't know, 10 roles in the past year doing stuff casually. I put out like probably 200 auditions. My ratio is pretty good, actually. Like one out of every 20 I get.
Yeah.
So
one 5% is not a bad deal.
It's not, I would say not, for a paid gig.
Yeah.
Like if I was auditioning for a lot of like free stuff, yeah, probably, anything I've auditioned for free recently, I've gotten, because people are like, oh yeah, let's do that. If I'm really passionate about a project, I'm like, oh, this sounds like a lot of fun. Like, whatever.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Especially if it's like, oh, a student film. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not?
Nice.
Right? Adds to the resume. It's fun to do. It takes an afternoon, and I enjoy acting.
Yeah. Do you do it in your own studio, or do you end up and send them the copy, or do you have to go somewhere else, or is it a combination?
I do it all home based.
Okay.
I'm still very amateur to journeyman on this. I've got a lot of friends who are professional voice actors who actually do the studio stuff. They do the travel, but I'm not there yet, unfortunately. I would love to be. So if you're listening to this and you want some voice, I can do many voices. Let me know.
I can vouch for that. He does a lot of voices.
Too many. Some of them are in my head. Some of them belong to my dog.
Is it hard to break into? Like, how do you even get involved with it on a level where people are looking for your voice?
You do a lot of auditions for free stuff. There are a number of websites like Casting Call Club where you can just audition there. I think behind the screen place, I forget. I've never actually used that one. I probably should. A lot of Reddit threads and Twitter is really good for finding casting calls because there's just a hashtag for it. And you just put yourself out there and you just keep practicing until you might get noticed. You want to build up like a reel, of your performances. And then you can start auditioning for larger productions with the reel. And then hopefully that'll snowball into somebody noticing your voice. But it's like any acting gig. There's a million people that are going for the same thing, which actually was probably one of the reasons that I vibed with Wonder Man so much, the new Disney Plus Marvel show.
Okay.
It's great. It's absolutely like it's the best thing they've put out in years.
I gotta check it out.
Absolutely. You
When
really
did it
should.
drop?
They basically shadow dropped it like a month ago.
Okay. Because I heard nothing about it.
So it's probably going to win some awards. At least I hope it does. Because it's Yahya. God, what's his full name? I never want to get it backwards. So it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Okay.
So it's him and Ben Kingsley.
Oh, okay.
Because they bring back Ben Kingsley's Mandarin character, or the Trevor Slattery. But the thing is, in this one, they actually just let Ben Kingsley act. And it's like, yes, this is Sir Ben Kingsley. Like, this is a guy who is knighted for his acting. And he's the best he's ever been in a Marvel production. Like, I've never really had much room for that character. He was always a little too bumbling. But in this one, he's like old and sad and faded. And he's got layers. And Yahya is playing this guy who has a lot of personal issues that are very metaphorical for the superhero universe. And just give it a try, man. Like, for creatives, it'll have you bawling by episode 3.
Nice.
Because it's personal. And I love seeing, like, I check Facebook comments on it, and there's only 2 comments. There's either, I was not expecting this to be good and it blew me away, or this show sucks, wasn't enough action. And it's like, it's not a superhero show. It's set in the Marvel universe. And it's about a guy who doesn't want to be a superhero. He wants to be an actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that reminds me of, like, when I got into Andor and like season 1.
Still have to watch Andor.
Yeah. I haven't watched season 2 yet either, but the first season, there's a level of emotion in it. And there's a soliloquy by Stellan Skarsgård at one point.
I love Stellan Skarsgård.
And it is so powerful. It is probably the best 3 minutes of Star Wars lore you'll ever listen to or watch. And it's visually, it's nothing to speak about other than a dark room with him basically telling it like it is. Mm-hmm. And you see the light and dark side of being on the right side of history and what it takes to be on the right side of history, and knowing that your efforts, you'll never live to see the benefits of the efforts you're making today. Like, your life is in service and in sacrifice to the future. And it's just like, wow, just boom, just explode. Like, really cool stuff.
Damn
really
it, you
cool
convinced me. Now I've got to finally watch it. My partner's been bugging me about it for like 3 years now. Like, when are we going to watch Andor? When are we going to watch Andor? And I'm like, we got to finish Barry first. We got to finish. And then she hadn't seen House on Haunted Hill. And I'm like, well, you got to see that. It's the best show that's ever been on Netflix. It's so good. You've seen it, right?
No, I haven't
Get
seen
to
that.
work. Go right now. It's
There's
a
too
ghost
much
story,
television to watch.
but it's David Fincher, or pardon me, it's not David Fincher. It's Mike Flanagan. It's Mike Flanagan just being amazing. God, I love Mike Flanagan so much. I cannot wait for him to do the damn Dark Tower.
It's got to help you, man. This stuff's got to help. This has got to be your, like, aside for when you're doing campaigns and stuff. Does this not influence you and give you ideas? Yeah.
100%. Like, everything I do is drawn from, I think that you have to be able to remix culture and fiction into something of your own. Like the Western campaign that I keep saying Western, it's D&D with guns and cool hats. It's a gunslinging campaign more than anything, but it was inspired by the Dark Tower, like Stephen King's books. And to the point that the entire thing is they're looking for a man in black, which is literally the first sentence of that book. It's actually the first 3 words of it, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Our first man in black, 4 words. But, you have to be inspired by stuff. And every time I get inspired by something, I'm like, ooh, I could do this. Ooh, I could do this. It's like, damn it, you're already running too many things. You're doing too many things. Like, I have so many projects. Because I've got, like, I have external work that I do for companies as well. Like, I do writing for, like, contract work that I'm NDA'd on. And I'm like, I got to get those drafts done, but then I got to get my own drafts done. And then this year we're starting up our own dice manufacturing. Like, we have a partnership. Yeah. So we've got our own, Dork Tales is getting its own dice lines that are coming out in April. And so I've got to write all the kickstarting and or backer kick, like, stretch goals for that. And like, ugh. But I just want to do more stuff because stuff is fun.
More stuff? You don't have enough on your plate?
I'll start. No finish.
Yeah, there's not enough stuff on your plate. I'm the same.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, but that's me in a nutshell. Except for the moment with my hiatuses.
You need to be able to take a hiatus. I'm thinking of taking a week off sometime in the next month or two, and just like vibing for a week. I think I need it. Like, even yesterday, I took yesterday off for a personal day, and I mostly just worked on my own stuff on the side. I was like, I'm just going to focus on this, And it was good. But I get the itch.
Yeah. The itch I get is, well, when I lack clarity, I tend to go on, like, long walks. And lately it's been no music, no podcast, nothing. Like, I have my earbuds in, but I just don't feel compelled to, like, turn anything on. I just want.
Do you got, like, woods or parks or something near you? Or
there's one park that has a 7-mile loop paved track, so people rollerblade there, they bike, run, walk, take their dogs there, all that kind of stuff. But given the day and the time of day, you could be out there and not see a soul for like 45 minutes, and it's one of the most freeing things because it's far enough away from the highway here that you don't really hear anything with the right winds and stuff. It's just nature and yourself and walking. And it's like I'm totally, like, quote unquote touching grass here, got my sneaks on, but
you're metaphorically touching grass. Like, you're out in the world experiencing life.
Yeah. And slowing the mind down and letting, like, the ideas pour through. I actually did that as, like, a retrospective of last year, and, like, took a bunch of notes down and specifically told myself, you're not looking at this for a couple months, come back to it and then use that as a springboard for next year.
Did it work for you?
Well, that's part of this weekend. I think I'm going to take a look at that. I'm going to, get some ideas about music that's needed down the pipeline, yourself included. I mean, we talked in September, and then I fired out a bunch of stuff.
That's true. I want some Warhammer 40K style Imperial like march music. Like I want some music that's like for characters that are evil, but they're the protagonists.
Marching music. Oh, that'll be fun to try.
Right? Some like Imperial march sound. Dun, 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 dun.
That would be fun. What else you got coming? What else you
God. I got something that's coming that's like a 90s, like 99 stuff. I'm trying to find a theme song for it right now that I can use for the opening credits that has like some lyrics. I'm trying to find stuff that's kind of like Crystal Method type of like throwback stuff. So I'm looking for some stuff with lyrics for that. But like, I want like
Orbital.
Was that?
Orbital? Like Crystal Method, Orbital? Or is Orbital a little too more...
I was thinking more like Keep the Hope Alive.
Okay.
So something a little more like that. But like during it, like I want some like, I guess, Matrix music. Like first Matrix, like those type of fight songs and the type of like there is like an Orbital vibe to that actually. With like a lot of wham, boom type of things would be really cool.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff for the modern game that's going to be coming up because it's a lot of like new wave jazz type of like weird tracks that I found. It's not really jazz, but it's like very almost like smooth, easy listening jazz funk. It's kind of weird, very kind of kinky type of songs. But then what else do we have? I also would love some more like goofy, like 50s and 60s stuff. Some surf rock would always be fun.
Yeah. I actually have, let's see, 60, surf rock. I actually have on the docket 60s, 70s, 80s, and instrumental rock.
There's nothing for the 90s yet. Yeah. Like we're still stuck in the 80s, but I don't think it's going to last as long as a lot of people are thinking.
Yeah, nostalgia has its waves, right? And right now,
I don't know if you noticed the way that Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids are dressing. It's 90s, man. It's wild.
Yeah. My daughter likes vintage clothing, and like,
that must hurt.
Well, she spends a lot of time. She spends it on her own. Like it's her own money. Which
no, I just mean looking at what counts as vintage.
Yeah,
it's like what's classic rock these days is like Linkin Park.
Yeah, it's like that is painful. She liked this Eminem's like bomber jacket that she found on eBay, and she wanted it desperately. It was like $160 or something, right? And there was an issue with the buyer, and like wasn't sure she was going to get it, or they'd have to file some thing on it. The woman came back, was like, "Oh, I was moving, sorry, blah blah," and finally she gets the jacket. Turns out, dude, it's a crew jacket for somebody like a NASCAR company.
What?
And
really?
And it's like an official jacket, like it had stains on it from freaking oil and stuff. I'm like, how the hell did you pick that? She's like, I just liked it for the M's. I'm like, well, clearly that was the sponsor, and I forget the driver.
The hell?
But it was like a major NASCAR driver, and I'm like, do you realize what this is? I'm like, this is from a pit crew, and like people. She gets
I don't know what that is.
She gets compliments on it all the time, and I'm like, you just have this. She just has this sense for fashion. I don't know what it is, but really it's just amazing.
Is she like still in high school? Is that?
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she's 17. So
I'm not looking forward to having kids and having to like deal with teenagers. I think that'll be.
As far as teenagers go, she's a pretty cool kid. Yeah, she's got
a cool dad, so that works out.
Well, I'm lucky that she's responsive, because personalities can be anything, right?
That's true.
Children come through you. They're not, like whatever that is, they manifest into whatever they're supposed to be, and we got very lucky. So
nice.
We're very lucky.
It's seeing all of these like kids bringing back Jinko jeans, like style baggy pants. That's what's throwing me. That is absolutely sending me like to the shadow realm. Basically, I'm just like, this is so weird. I can't do this. I can't do life with the Jinkos back.
I haven't seen the MC Hammer pants, but I bet you they're coming.
They're coming. Well, I mean, they've kind of been like off and on for a while, I think, because like at least with like women's pants, like they're baggier, and like because we were in like the super. I mean, leggings are just great. Like they're just in. So hell, I have a pair of leggings, and I look fantastic in them. You have to lift and separate, but like.
Hilarious.
But yeah, it's I guess you get a lot of that because you're down in a much warmer. Well, I guess yeah, because leggings are like all season, aren't they? Like because like it's raining up a storm right now because I'm in the Pacific Northwest. But like we have something called Han Solo season up here.
God, tell me what that means.
So it means that around pumpkin spice time, every girl between the ages of like 16 and like 40 starts dressing like Han Solo. Like they wear a pair of leggings, boots, a vest. Like it's just the look, like the Han Solo like type of
That's
vibe.
hilarious.
Hold on, Han Solo season. That's what we call it. But yeah, so I'm going to send you a link of it real quick. Can I copy images in here? Or is it just links? Can I? Nope, it has to be a link.
Oh, you can always send it to me on Discord too.
That's true. There we go. Just click that. It's not a virus, I'm sure, even though it says encrypted.
Okay.
But like every girl is in Han Solo season with like the calf high boots, like the white shirt or cream shirt, and then like the puffy vest or something like that. And it's just like every time it's Han Solo season, and I don't mind. It's good, you know, and it's been that way for like the last decade. But
hilarious.
It's so weird coming into the Pacific Northwest from being in like anywhere else, like the East Coast, the Midwest, and like seeing what counts as business casual up here is it's just athleisure wear. It's like because you might go hiking after the meeting. Like, oh come on, I'm okay with it, but like suits aren't super common up here compared to where they are everywhere else. It's interesting.
Yeah,
that took a while to get used to.
Well, is weather the factor?
I think a lot of it. Yeah. It's weather and culture. People up here are pretty laid back, like comparatively. And it's, you know, you got all the mountains and you've got like you do want to stay warm because it's very wet. It's very wet up here. And it gets pretty cold, which you wouldn't expect because like the temperature doesn't drop that much, but it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Yeah. Well, it's not the cold, it's the moisture. Like give me like desert, like tundra. Any day, like minus 20, whatever. Just wear a jacket. But here it's like 5 degrees and you're like, oh God, which is like, I don't know, like for you.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
because we're talking Celsius.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what you're talking about because down here, you know, South Florida, which is anything for anybody that doesn't live in Florida, is typically the I-4 corridor. It's like Tampa, Orlando, and South. You would think the winter would be very tolerable when it is for most people that come to visit it. But there's a coldness that comes off the Gulf when that sea surface temperatures like in the 70s, maybe even high 60s. There's a bite to the air, man, because it's like you said, high humidity, but just cold. Like the overnight, we've had overnights in 28, which is like -2, -1 Celsius.
Yeah, like
this
freezing
season?
temperatures.
Yeah.
And that's got to be so, it's been the opposite here. Like we haven't had any snow through like the snowy parts of BC. We haven't had, or like very little. We had mostly just rain. Like it's going to be a rough summer. There's going to be a lot of fires because the BC has a little wildfire country and it's going to be a thing. So enjoy.
You got all your moisture during the winter and it's like, yeah. Especially if there's like the Pacific patterns like El Nino, La Nina. Those those are a big factor too, right? As far as your coastal stuff is concerned, because you're right. I mean, Vancouver's what, 3 hours from you?
Vancouver's just like across the water from me, so like it's like it's like an hour by ferry. So technically, like probably like it's like 20 minutes by plane. Okay, it's basically you just got to hop off the island and like go to just basically aim for land.
Yeah, because you have the West Coast. A lot of people don't know this. The whole reason that Oregon, Washington, and Southwest British Columbia are so mild is because of like the West Coast Pacific equivalent of like a Gulf Stream, right? You guys have like kind of warm waters going up the coast there, and then they dip back down up and around Alaska. And
it's very fortunate. It makes for a really cool climate, and it does rain about 2/3 of the year or half the year here, which it makes for a lot of great green in the summer. Usually, like it's very pretty, like it's absolutely gorgeous here. But it is, you have to be not prone to seasonal affective disorder. I have a lot of friends who like have like sun lamps and like, well, you live in Florida, you should be fine. Like you got sun.
That was me in New England when I lived back in Connecticut.
Where are you from in New England?
Connecticut. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
January, February, I was just miserable. I was miserable to be around. I just got really ornery and just, so 300 days of sunlight down here. Hooray. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You have more, my God. You did take more days off last year or you didn't publish as many. I'm tired. I'm not putting it together, but you have less no sunlight days than you had days where you didn't publish something.
That's right. That's right.
That's wild. That's the way words work.
Yeah.
God, I need another coffee.
Well, that was me, dude. Just before this, I was like,
I'm also 3 hours behind you, so I'm still waking up. Like, I had a large coffee on the way home. I had to walk the dog, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pay for a coffee. Why not? And,
man, surf rock. Have not tried that yet. Any other strange genres coming up with the campaigns?
Strange ones. Let's see. I mean, I'll always take Skyrim style music. I think you should do another D&D album. I really think you should do another D&D album with like some epic fight stuff. Do you have what I want? Okay, here's a weird one. I want ones that would play just as well with giant robots fighting Godzilla as it would with like people punching out like divine beings. I want some apocalyptic D&D music.
Boy, you are catalyzing a lot for me, my friend.
I want like songs that I could play when like giant dragons the size of mountains are fighting each other. Like I want kaiju epic.
Size of mountains.
So kind of what you did with God, what was the name of your album? I've used like 5 songs from it. Like
Symphony of Swords.
Is that the one that Only Teeth Remain comes from?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So something like I want another one of those, but bigger.
Okay. Ooh, and that was a pretty big album.
It was big, but like maybe a little more drum, like a little like deep drum.
More
like,
drums.
Boom, boom, boom. A little more like Basil Polidorus, right? Like Conan or RoboCop even, you know? Because God, that man loved his drums.
Oh, yeah. There's that time frame and that music.
God, it's so they were good.
Just on the verge of, God, I think it's Goldsmith. He did, what is it, Total Recall. And you remember the kind of clangy drums from Total Recall?
Yeah, 100%.
And there was synth and stuff like that on there, but he tended to do a lot of stuff with the full orchestra. I want to say it was Jerry Goldsmith. Is that it?
I'm just double checking right now.
Yeah,
it's Jerry Goldsmith.
Yeah. And he went on record in an interview, I believe, saying of all the score, and he did some pretty big scores in his career. That was one of his favorite because I think it was one of the most challenging, and he tried to incorporate the full orchestra within as many pieces as possible and give that feeling, that otherworldly feeling with a traditional orchestra. And like the fluttering high-end piccolos and flutes and stuff that he used, like when you come over the horizon on Mars, it freaking felt like it. It felt so much like it.
Soundtracks in the 80s they were really built differently. Now, then you get some of that. I think that like what Klaus Belt did with some of the Pirates stuff with Hans Zimmer was absolutely fantastic. The Kraken theme is still like top tier. But man, the 80s just
a lot of experimentation, because there's all this electronic instrumentation coming in, and it's like, okay, you could tell somebody oversaturated a score with it, and then somebody that's avoiding it, and then somebody that integrates it so that it blends and becomes a part of it in a way that doesn't take it's kind of like those action movies where they pick up the score so much that it tries to drown you out from the fact that the movie sucks and the story is awful.
Yeah.
Or it's a great score and it's in the background and you feel it, but it doesn't distract you from the scene.
I mean, that's what you want. You want that you want that absorption. Speaking of an action movie, you're an action guy, right?
Yes.
Have you seen The Wrecking Crew?
I have not. That's the new one on
it's on Prime, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just watched it last night. It's Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista playing brothers.
Yeah.
And they're in Hawaii and they're solving their dad's murder. And you know what? It's not a perfect movie, but if you want like a late 80s action movie throwback, man, it's good. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10.
Sweet.
on the dude bro scale. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's up there. Like I mean, you're comparing it with stuff like Van Damme's Double Impact and like those type of movies, and it's like so much better. It's so much better.
Yeah, I've seen they've been advertising the shit out of it. So,
well, and so much stuff that comes out on Prime sucks. So it's really nice to see something good.
Yeah.
I really need to see Heads of State.
Yeah. I've got that saved. I still haven't seen that. I fall into these patterns, dude, where like I swear to God it's a Vegas nerve thing at night. Like sometimes I have to come down from like my mania of the day and then I don't have the capacity to watch something new. So I'll plug in
watch
something.
The Office again.
Yeah, or like Archer or Bob's Burgers. Or
I never finished Archer.
I haven't either, and I have a reason for that. Like, I fear finishing series because I feel like the finality is going to make me not want to revisit some of the episodes anymore, and it's like a subconscious thing. So I literally, like, that last season didn't have Jessica Walters in it because she had passed away.
She was amazing.
So they kind of had I think they kind of wrapped things up because, I mean, without her.
Did they write her out in the show?
They did something. I saw like the first or second episodes of that season, and they did something to explain her away. But I have to finish it in order to really understand what happened. But she's one of those people that, you know, I first was exposed to her acting and Arrested Development. You know, and I loved the first 3 seasons of that. The other ones I could do without, and there's reasonings for that. Again, it comes back to cinematography and the fact that season 4, everybody was involved with different projects. So they kind of came in and shot their own things, and nobody was you could tell from the editing, a lot of times they weren't even in the same scene together. They were like being shot in those, and like you work with movies long enough, you kind of see that kind of thing. And I'm like, a chemistry isn't going to be there because they're not really acting off of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they had such the chemistry really made that show.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
the quippy comments and just the glib repartee between all like they were just heinous to each other. They were just awful.
So good.
But then I mean, they defended each other when the time was right, and that just showed that like even this caustic relationship, they still had each other's backs. You know what I mean? And
I love that. It's similar like to Married with Children. Yeah. Same thing. Like the Bundys would always get together to kick some ass. Yeah, and that was always like. I still remember the fight on the freeway that they had. And it's funny how these shows stick with you forever. I tried to quantify how many Simpsons references from like the first, like probably 15 seasons I make every single day.
Yeah.
And it's just astronomical.
Like 40 seasons now? How many seasons are they in now?
42?
That's insane.
The last 37.
Okay.
So not quite. And they have been confirmed for 40, and it's gotten better. Like it was in a slump, and the last few seasons have been much better. It's a different show though, because it's wild that it has been on long enough that it has been through 2 generations of people who grew up watching it who are now in the writers' room.
Right.
So
also at a point where hasn't one of the main voice actors passed away at this point? I thought someone
passed away, and that was
the gentleman that did like Abu and like a couple of the other. Did that guy?
So they've changed their voices. So was it Harry Shearer? Stopped voicing non-white characters.
Okay.
So Dr. Hibbert is voiced by someone different.
Okay.
Abu is voiced by someone different. And I think the best example of that I've ever seen is in Family Guy, where they stopped having Cleveland being voiced by, I forget the original actor's name, Mike Henry.
Okay.
And they recast him, but the guy they got does a flawless impression of Mike Henry's Cleveland.
Yeah.
To the point, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening, I'm looking for inflection, and it's so spot on. It just kind of feels like how a voice slightly changes over time. And it's so wild. You go back and you can definitely see this in the newer seasons, listening to, for one, Marge's voice actor. Her voice has gotten very, very rough with age and very weak. And Mr. Burns as well does not sound like Mr. Burns anymore.
Okay.
And they've been on for 37 years. How is that even possible?
Well, what's interesting, first of all, was that a cultural sensitivity thing, you think, as to why
I think so. I think it was just finally like, especially with Apu, because he was seen as such a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Dr. Hibbert doesn't really tick a lot of the harmful stereotype buttons, but Apu, you know, being like a Quickie Mart owner who like has a very, very over the top Indian accent, you know, and becoming like a slur that people would use, like, hey, Apu, you know, type of thing to people from India. So I can see why they'd change him for sure.
Sure.
Right.
But I'll tell you what,
yeah.
in the voice actor community, I'm sure there's the possibility and the likelihood, more or less the likelihood, that there's going to be somebody out there that can emulate a voice, if not exactly, really, really close. Good example of that was the cancellation of what's his head from Rick and Morty, and then Rick and Morty needed to be recast, and there was two specific separate voice actors that took over those two roles, both of which 95%. You know, when Rick raises his voice, it sounds a little different, but for the most part, it's pretty spot on, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that people stopped caring about Rick and Morty, I think, for the most part. I haven't watched that show in years now.
It's been a while for me as well.
I probably should. I should just sit down, watch Rick and Morty, and just get it over with. See what they're doing. Watch Bob's Burgers, just have a cartoon day.
That's right. I mean, cartoons pull you out of, you know,
seriously,
whatever crazy reality is happening to us on this planet.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exploding Kittens was a show I did not expect to be any good, but it really was. It was really solid. I don't know how they managed that.
I've gone backwards and I've dove into home videos, which is one of the first shows that H. John Benjamin was on.
Yep.
And doing voice work. The first couple episodes, I had to kind of like recalibrate my brain. And now, like, the first 3 seasons, like most of the episodes, I'm like, these are really good. This is really good writing. It's hysterical.
It's awesome to go back and touch on that. I saw somebody post, I don't know if you ever saw Undergrads.
No.
So I think it's a Canadian cartoon, but it got pretty big in some parts of the States. It came out around like 1999, 2000, somewhere in there, like basically right when I was going to college.
Okay.
I saw people are doing a resurgence on it. It's wild. And Clone High came back, which is another one from that era. And animation, it's good to see it finally being kind of respected in North America in a way that it should be.
Yeah.
I blame anime.
I personally, I'm an old school Saturday morning cartoon buff. Just like growing up with my Atari 2600, you know.
Before I go, I got to show you something a friend made me for my birthday this year.
Yeah, happy birthday,
by
the way.
I haven't painted it yet. So she 3D printed this for me, and I've got to finish sanding it and stuff, but like I have the power. That's right, Teddy.
That is beautiful.
Right? It's really well weighted. I found a picture of it and I'm like, "Can you do this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, let's go." I'm like, "I need a 3D printer."
That's amazing. Is it multiple parts?
Yeah,
look at that dog.
Yeah.
That's a bigger boy than I remember him being.
He's gotten bigger. And he looks so handsome in his sweatshirt, right? He's got this tuft of chest hair at the top of it. He looks positively like a Greek athlete.
Yeah, sweatshirt equals just big lump of that's your warm blanket right there.
Oh,
right, buddy?
Well,
what's up, buddy?
He absolutely, hold on. He absolutely
what's up, buddy?
How
you doing?
Full time.
What's up? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
You see Tim? Look at Tim.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Nothing. I got nothing.
You want more? Okay. I have no idea what you're saying to him, but he seemed interested.
I was like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Who's a good boy?
He's like, well, I am.
I gotta go outside, man. Like, let's go.
I'm sitting still, you know? Amazing.
No, he's such a lap dog. We raised him correctly. He's part pit bull, and because of that, he's obsessed with being on top of people and cuddling, which I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure once the rain subsides, he'll be bounding about outside. If he probably already is anyway, but it's a muddy affair.
He had a nice fetch this morning before this podcast.
Yeah.
So got completely muddy, got a little bath, got his hoodie.
Nice. Well, you've given me quite the homework, my friend.
Please,
So
do stuff. I want to see what you can come up with.
Yeah, I'm all over it. And I'm going to check out this Markiplier thing too, because I didn't even know you could do that stuff on YouTube. That's just
it's really
insane.
Cool. Like it's really cool. Do a heist with Markiplier first and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
And let me know what you think.
Awesome. Well, thanks for spending time with me today, man. Good catching up.
Of course.
And we'll have some music for you real soon. You're
Awesome.
catalyzing things for me. Appreciate it.
I will come up with some stuff I'll come up with some epic moments for those songs to play during.
Nice. All right.